Good morning, how are you doing? It's Thursday, the 16th of October, just after 9 o'clock. I'm feeling very tired. I've been up just about most of the night, but doing something because I kind of got into it rather than I was struggling or anything else like that. So what was I doing? I have held for quite a long time now, about 20 years, an intermediate amateur radio license. Yes, I'm an amateur radio ham. I'm a ham radio operator. Something I get immense enjoyment out of. I've got quite an impressive setup here. And yeah, I spend hours listening to people all over the world and at the same time talking to people all over the world. Now, all amateur radio operators have a unique identifier call sign. That call sign identifies who they are and also what country they're from, and in some cases also what part of the country. The UK, for example, has a two-letter prefix, or a letter and a number prefix, so sort of M7, M3, M0, or G3, G0, G7, whatever, and then a three-letter identifier. That applies for the beginner's license holders and the advanced license holders, or full license holders. But for some bizarre reason, when they rejigged the licensing system here in the UK, they gave intermediate license operators like myself a completely bizarre call sign beginning with 2 Echo 0. Certainly 2 Echo 0 for the for England, and Wales and Scotland and so on all had their own identifier. The only problem with this is that the rest of the world doesn't really know what 2E0 is, where it's from, causes an awful lot of confusion. And when you tell them England, sometimes they doubt you, sometimes they don't want to talk to you, sometimes they don't believe you. So yeah, it causes a lot of confusion. Last year, Ofcom, who regulate radio, amateur radio in the UK, went through a whole consultation process and decided to rejig the licenses. They gave various groups extra rights, extra privileges, and one of the things they did was to effectively do away with the 2E0 prefix on the intermediate license. So I think from kind of early this year, all new intermediate license operators would get an M9 or an M8 call sign. And it was also agreed at the same time that later on in the year, the existing 2E0 intermediate license holders would be able to apply and change their call sign to match with all the rest, so an M8 or an M9. This feature was switched on, I think, in the last couple of days, because it seems to have been attracting an awful lot of discussions in the forums and online groups. So a couple of days ago, I went online and found the option, found the facility to change my call sign. So I changed from a 2 Echo 0 Bravo Alpha Foxtrot to what I now have, which is M8 or Mike 8 Bravo Alpha Foxtrot. Very simple process, took 5 minutes to do. You get your new license sent out to you by email. Everything's great. You then have to start changing everything. All of my software, all of my radios, all have to be changed from using the 2 Echo 0 call sign to using the M8 call sign. Some of that is very straightforward. You just go in and change the call sign. Some of the software I use is very straightforward. Literally, you just open the application, go to settings, change the call sign. Some of the more complicated stuff has been to do with using DMR radio, a DMR, little DMR handheld radio I have. So I had to go to I think it's the Brandmeister website, and create whole new profiles there to cover the M8 call sign. I also had to go to the DMR ID website and re-register and request them to change my call sign. So it wasn't something I could do myself. So that was all progressing on reasonably well until last night. I sat down and wanted to complete the last changes to everything, and that was to update a piece of software I use called Ham Radio Deluxe. This really sits at the center of everything I use. It controls my radios, it controls all of my logging, and it also connects radios, rotators, logging and everything else together. So it's really central to everything I do. About midnight I started looking to find the setting to change my call sign, because because the call sign was wrong, it wasn't talking to anything else, and I spent hours trying to find it. There wasn't, at the end of the day I came to the conclusion there wasn't an option within Ham Radio Deluxe to actually change the call sign. An awful lot of digging through Google, also a lot of searches, a lot of questions, how do I change the call sign? And eventually I came up with the answer. And believe it or not, you actually have to go to the Ham Radio Deluxe website, open up and log into your account, and within that account there's an option to change your call sign. So you change that, save all the details, and you have to then wait 10-15 minutes whilst that new call sign is propagated out from the Ham Radio Deluxe server to the software on my computer, which when fired up after 10 or 15 minutes waiting asks you to enter your new call sign. I did that, and if by magic all the communications between my rotator, my logbooks, QRZ.com, everything magically started working. That was about 5 o'clock this morning. So both absolutely delighted that I'd solved the problem, but yeah, pretty tired. I guess in some ways that ties into some of the mental health problems I have. Once I get something like that into my head, once I get into something, I sometimes find it very difficult to switch off. And even though halfway through this I switched everything off, went to bed and tried to go to sleep, I just couldn't. I couldn't switch it off. I couldn't stop it. It's not a good thing, and it can cause problems. But anyway, we're all sorted. We're all working. I've been doing some contacts this morning, various different modes, FT8, Zero's digital modes, a couple of voice calls, and yeah, happy to say everything's working. That's about it. As always, subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment below if you have any questions. I will do a shack tour, a station tour, and show you all of my equipment. Maybe a video to follow in the next couple of days or week or so. But in between time, take care, talk to you soon, have fun, bye bye. Hi again, just quickly want to add a footnote to the video. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. It is a learning process for me, so come back in a couple of years' time and I'll be a millionaire and a YouTube influencer and maybe a little bit better polished videos. In the meantime, it only goes to say, please subscribe, please hit the like button and leave your comments below, and I'll be very happy to interact with anything you say.